Have you ever wondered why some people seem to defy the physical limitations of age, while others struggle as they grow older? It's a question that has intrigued philosophers, scientists, and ordinary individuals alike. Aging is an inevitable part of life, but what if the process of aging didn't have to be synonymous with decline, frailty, and diminished energy? What if there were a way to age gracefully, maintaining strength, vitality, and joy well into your later years? In this pursuit of wisdom, one name stands out: Don Matteo. At 75 years old, he has become an example of how age does not necessarily dictate our quality of life. He is a living testament to the belief that with the right mindset, commitment, and lifestyle, aging can be a powerful journey rather than a struggle. Don Matteo, affectionately known as the Sage of the Fields by those who know him, has cultivated an approach to life that has allowed him to maintain a youthful energy and a deep sense of peace long after most would have expected him to slow down. A simple life rooted in nature. To understand Don Matteo's ageless vitality, we must first take a closer look at the life he leads. Born and raised in a small village nestled in a lush valley surrounded by verdant hills, Don Matteo's life has always been intertwined with nature. His days have revolved around the land, planting, nurturing, and harvesting crops with his hands, which are strong and calloused from decades of physical labor. His life has never been one of luxury, nor has it been marked by indulgence or convenience. Instead, it has been a life grounded in the earth, where every task and action is a direct engagement with the natural world. Though the physical labor of farming is demanding, Don Matteo's work is not just about toil. It is about connecting with the land, respecting its cycles, and finding joy in the rhythms of nature. In fact, his relationship with the land mirrors the Stoic philosophy that has guided him through life. Finding peace and accepting what nature provides, working with it, and embracing the inevitable challenges that come with the passage of time. This mindset has been integral to his ability to not just endure the aging process, but to transcend it. While many individuals his age find themselves confined by physical limitations, unable to walk long distances, climb stairs without assistance, or perform simple tasks without help, Don Matteo moves through his days with a grace and vitality that seems almost impossible for someone his age. His physical independence remains intact, and his life is filled with meaning and purpose. He continues to rise early each morning, even before the rest of the village stirs, to greet the sun as it rises over the hills. Each day is an opportunity for him to work, to learn, and to connect with the world around him. There is no sense of hurry or urgency in his movements, but there is a deep sense of focus, an understanding that the time spent on this earth is a precious gift to be cherished. The philosophy behind his ageless energy. Don Matteo's secret does not lie in some extraordinary lifestyle or an elusive fountain of youth. Rather, it lies in his ability to embrace life's natural course with both acceptance and action. The key to his vitality is not found in running from the challenges of aging, but in welcoming them, engaging with them, and adapting his lifestyle in ways that maintain his health and sense of purpose. At the heart of Don Matteo's approach to aging is a fundamental lesson passed down to him by his father. Life, like the land, is a series of seasons. Just as a farmer must tend to the soil, plant seeds with care, and nurture the crops with love, so too must we tend to our own lives, embracing each season with gratitude and acceptance. In Don Matteo's view, every season, whether it is a season of physical decline, emotional hardship, or personal growth, offers us an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to become more deeply connected to the world around us. His father's philosophy is rooted in deep Stoic wisdom, a philosophy that has long taught that we cannot control the external forces of life, be they the changing seasons, the weather, or the inevitability of aging. What we can control, however, is how we respond. We can choose to meet the challenges of life with grace, resilience, and a sense of inner peace. This mindset has served Don Matteo well throughout his life, allowing him to defy the physical decline that so often accompanies old age. But his father's teachings went beyond simply accepting the inevitable. They also emphasized the importance of consistent action. Just as a farmer must tend to the fields every day, regardless of the weather or the challenges that arise, so too must we tend to our own physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Don Matteo's commitment to daily movement, self-care, and connection with others is what has allowed him to maintain his physical independence and inner vitality. The power of consistency in maintaining independence. As people grow older, one of the most common fears is the loss of independence. For many, the simple act of walking across the room, getting out of bed without assistance, or preparing a meal can become difficult. But for Don Matteo, physical independence remains a cornerstone of his daily life. So how has he managed to maintain this independence when so many others struggle with even the most basic tasks? The answer lies in his unwavering commitment to consistency. Every day, Don Matteo makes a conscious decision to keep his body in motion. He rises early, often before dawn, and begins his day with light stretching exercises, followed by hours of physical labor on the land. His hands continue to plant, nurture, and harvest crops, tasks that require strength, dexterity, and endurance. But Don Matteo's physical routine is not confined to the hard labor of farming. He incorporates a range of activities that help maintain his flexibility, such as stretching and mindful movement. This balance of hard work and gentle exercise is what allows him to preserve his physical independence. It's not just about maintaining strength. It's about nurturing the body's flexibility and mobility, ensuring that the joints stay limber and the muscles remain supple. Don Matteo's approach to aging and physical health mirrors the Stoic philosophy of amor fati, the love of fate. Rather than fighting the inevitable aging process or the physical challenges that come with it, Don Matteo accepts them and adapts. He knows that his body is not as young as it once was, but rather than resent this reality, he embraces it with grace. He focuses on what he can do rather than what he can no longer do, finding strength in this acceptance. This is a powerful lesson for all of us, no matter our age. As we grow older, it is easy to fall into the trap of resisting the changes that come with aging, whether it's the loss of physical strength, mental sharpness, or youthful vitality. But by focusing on what we can still do and finding ways to honor our bodies, we can preserve our independence and remain active participants in our own lives. Embracing the mind-body connection. While physical independence is critical, Don Matteo's vitality is not solely rooted in his physical movements. His mind and spirit play an equally important role in his ability to age with grace. Aging is not just about maintaining physical strength. It is also about cultivating a mindset that allows you to face each day with purpose, curiosity, and joy. Don Matteo has long understood that the mind and body are intricately connected. A healthy mind supports a healthy body, and vice versa. By nurturing both his physical and mental well-being, he has created a harmonious balance that sustains him well into his 70s. His daily practices of reflection, mindfulness, and connection to nature help him maintain a sense of inner peace, allowing him to weather the storms of life with resilience. For Don Matteo, each challenge that arises, whether it's a physical limitation, a difficult season, or an emotional setback, is seen as an opportunity to grow. He does not shy away from difficulty. Instead, he welcomes it, knowing that each challenge offers valuable lessons. His father's wisdom continues to guide him in this regard. Life, like the fields, is full of ups and downs, but it is how we respond to these changes that defines our vitality. A call to action, embracing aging with purpose. Don Matteo's story is not just a lesson about aging. It is a call to action. It invites us to reflect on our own lives and the ways in which we approach the challenges of aging. Are we living with purpose? Are we nurturing our bodies, minds, and spirits to ensure that we can age with grace and vitality? As we journey through life, we have the opportunity to learn from Don Matteo's example. By embracing the principles of consistency, acceptance, and purpose, we can cultivate a life filled with vitality and resilience, no matter our age. The journey of aging does not have to be one of decline. It can be a journey of growth, learning, and deeper connection to ourselves and the world around us. Incorporating these timeless principles into our lives today, whether we are in our 20s, 40s, or 70s, can set us on a path to aging with dignity, strength, and unshakable peace. Just as Don Matteo has shown us, aging is not something to be feared or resisted. It is something to be embraced with open arms, a chance to continue learning, growing, and living fully. The importance of movement and consistency. Don Matteo's life serves as a testament to the power of consistency in maintaining physical independence. While many elderly individuals may find it difficult to walk long distances or perform everyday tasks due to the limitations that come with age, Don Matteo's life proves that it's possible to defy these challenges. He doesn't engage in strenuous physical activity or attempt to reclaim the strength of his youth. Rather, he embraces the power of movement, simple, consistent movement that keeps his body strong and flexible. Every morning, before the first light breaks over the horizon, Don Matteo is already up, performing stretches and simple exercises to keep his muscles and joints in motion. These early stretches may seem small, but they are the foundation upon which his independence is built. It's not about working out for the sake of aesthetics or youthfulness. It's about staying connected to the body in a meaningful way and honoring it with care. Don Matteo's daily routine is grounded in the understanding that the body needs movement, no matter the age. Whether it's the gentle, purposeful work of planting seeds in the soil or the quiet acts of stretching to ensure his joints remain limber, Don Matteo's dedication to movement is what keeps his body functioning well beyond the typical limitations many face at his age. The wisdom in Don Matteo's approach lies in his acknowledgement that the body changes, and with that change comes the need to adapt. He doesn't try to push his body past its natural capabilities. Rather, he listens to his body, respects its rhythms, and moves with it. By adopting this attitude of care, he defies the notion that aging is synonymous with weakness. His approach stands in stark contrast to the relentless drive of youth that seeks to push the body to its limits, often to the detriment of one's long-term well-being. A deep respect for the body's needs. The body, as Don Matteo understands, is not an entity to be fought against or neglected. It is a vessel that requires attention, respect, and care. Aging is an invitation to reframe one's relationship with the body, to view it not as a machine that slowly falls apart, but as a living, breathing entity that needs nurture. Don Matteo's approach is one of quiet respect for the natural rhythms of his body. He nourishes it with food, movement, and rest, treating it as a precious companion on his life's journey. This respect is reflected in his balanced diet, one that emphasizes fresh produce, whole grains, and simple, nourishing meals. Unlike many elderly people who rely on processed foods or medications to sustain them, Don Matteo focuses on the healing power of nature. The fruits and vegetables he grows on his land are not just his livelihood, they are the key to maintaining his strength and vitality. He understands the power of food, not just as sustenance, but as medicine for the body. His daily routine also incorporates light physical labor, ensuring that his body stays in motion. By working the land with care rather than force, Don Matteo shows us that the path to physical independence doesn't require strenuous exertion. Instead, it's about a daily commitment to small, meaningful movements, be it bending down to harvest crops, walking through the fields, or simply tending to the plants with patience. For Don Matteo, the key to maintaining independence lies in this principle of consistency. Little acts of care for the body performed day in and day out. Whether it's his morning stretches, his simple exercises, or his steady work on the land, these activities add up over time, keeping him independent when many others would be dependent on others for support. Adapting to physical limitations with grace. But what happens when even the most consistent efforts are challenged by unforeseen circumstances? What happens when illness or injury strikes and threatens to take away a person's independence? Don Matteo's journey isn't just about maintaining his strength despite aging. It's also about adapting when faced with difficulties that seem insurmountable. This challenge came to him in the form of a debilitating joint disease that slowly made it more difficult for him to work the land he loved so much. When Don Matteo first began to feel the limitations of his body, when the pain in his hands and joints became too much to ignore, he faced a choice. He could succumb to frustration, bitterness, and resignation, or he could adapt and continue finding new ways to live fully. His choice was clear. He would adapt. This transition from physical strength to intellectual and emotional strength became one of the most defining moments of his life. Instead of allowing the disease to strip him of his independence, Don Matteo found ways to work smarter, not harder. He adopted lighter tools, modified his techniques, and embraced a slower, more mindful approach to working the land. He also shifted his mindset. Where others might have seen the disease as a defeat, Don Matteo saw it as an opportunity to redefine his relationship with work and independence. Rather than giving up on the activities that brought him joy, Don Matteo learned to approach them with a new kind of wisdom. He had always been someone who worked with the land, but now he worked with his body's limitations. He embraced his vulnerability and found power in accepting it. The emotional resilience to accept change. This shift in mindset didn't stop with his physical adaptations. It extended into his emotional life as well. Don Matteo's capacity to accept change, particularly the change that came with the inevitable decline of his body, became one of his greatest strengths. Instead of resisting the loss of strength and mobility, he embraced it as part of the natural cycle of life. As he grew older, Don Matteo's circle of friends became smaller. His interactions within the village changed. He could no longer run across the fields or participate in community activities in the same way. But instead of grieving these changes, Don Matteo chose to adapt to them. He took comfort in the simple, quieter moments of life, the laughter of children, the peaceful sounds of nature, the beauty of the landscape. These things became his new sources of joy, and he learned to find fulfillment not in what he had lost, but in what remained. His ability to accept change with grace is a profound lesson for all of us. It's easy to resist change, especially when it involves something as personal as the loss of physical strength or mental sharpness. But Don Matteo teaches us that resistance is futile and only brings more suffering. By accepting the inevitable, we open ourselves to new possibilities and new sources of joy. His life proves that aging doesn't have to mean loss. It can mean growth, renewal, and a deeper connection to what truly matters. Embracing the power of adaptation. In a world that often associates aging with decline, Don Matteo stands as a powerful reminder that aging can be a process of adaptation and growth. It is not about fighting the inevitable changes that come with time, but embracing them. He shows us that by adapting to our bodies and minds, by learning to live with grace and patience, we can continue to thrive and remain independent well into our later years. For Don Matteo, the path to maintaining physical independence isn't about stubbornly resisting aging or pretending that the body doesn't change. It's about acknowledging those changes and finding ways to adapt to them, whether through physical movement, a change in mindset, or a deeper understanding of what it means to live fully. In doing so, Don Matteo continues to show us that it's possible to grow old with strength, resilience, and a quiet grace that only time can bestow. The key takeaway: aging as a journey of discovery. Aging is often viewed through the lens of loss, but Don Matteo has shown us that it can also be a journey of discovery. By embracing the changes that come with age and adapting to them, we can continue to lead rich, fulfilling lives. The key is to stay active, stay curious, and stay open to the wisdom that comes with time. The wisdom of Don Matteo is a reminder that physical independence is not about clinging to youth, but about finding new ways to honor our bodies as they age. By accepting change without resistance and cultivating intellectual curiosity, we can continue to thrive in our later years, just as Don Matteo has. His life is an example of what it means to live with purpose, resilience, and a deep respect for the natural rhythms of life.